Hey everybody, this is Lewis Boyd. Y'all saw my post earlier. I said let's talk music later. Well, here we are, and that's exactly what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk some music, and we're gonna get deep into this album collection that I have behind me right here. So if you all are ready, let's go. Now, I need to give y'all a little context, a little introduction of myself. Like I said, my name is Lewis Boyd. I've been an avid album collector since I was a kid. I'd say it started when I was 6 years old. That's right around the time I got my first record player, and my folks bought me a couple of albums. One by Earth, Wind and Fire, which is called All in All, which I think is one of their best albums, and a live album by the Commodores, man. And those two albums I pretty much played to death. Of course, I started buying more, and now here we are today, kind of corner to where we are now. You know, my dad, who's no longer with us, the one who started this thing off, and my mom, you know, of course, she tagged along, and they helped me develop my love of music and my love of great music. So this is why now I have this massive album collection. Here we are, 2024, and I'm still collecting vinyl, even when vinyl had went out. I never let it go, and it's back now. So we're gonna get into some of that right now. Today, I want to talk about one of my favorite artists, and it would not be right with me being a child of God to not start this whole thing off with a gospel album, and even more so, a great gospel album. And this is by one of my favorite artists, a man by the name of Andraé Crouch. Y'all know about Andraé Crouch. You know how much of an influence he was on several artists, and how many artists he brought in, including the Winans, and some other groups. So we're gonna get into this one album that he did entitled I'll Be Thinking of You. But first I need to talk to y'all about who Andraé Crouch is. Andraé Crouch, and he has a twin sister by the name of Sandra Crouch, who's also a great singer in her own right, and who we just recently lost. So we want to say rest in peace to her. Now, Andraé was born in San Francisco, California, and his folks were preachers. So they had a church, and of course they also had a couple businesses going on, and they also instilled in him a love of music. And so he took that love of music and parlayed that into an excellent career. And he has also used that to help other artists come out. And there are several musicians who have played with him who we know now today. I'm gonna be naming them off later on. And some of his albums feature guest appearances by some great artists. We'll be naming them as well. So there's a whole lot of songs that he wrote that we still sing to this day that have become standards. One of those in particular, which is absolutely one of my favorite hymns, "The Blood Will Never Lose Its Power." Y'all know Andraé Crouch wrote that. Y'all didn't know he wrote that, did you? Well, now you know. Well, so with that and some other songs, they've now become standards, Soon and Very Soon, and a few others to name a few. But along the way, those helped shape and those helped him create this wonderful masterpiece that we're gonna get into today. It's called I'll Be Thinking of You. That would be this record right here. Y'all, this is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard. And this album was actually my introduction to Andraé Crouch. And this was loaned to us a while back by some family friends of ours. Shout out to Audrey Bragg and her husband, Bill. We just saw them recently, by the way. But I want to thank them for letting my mom borrow this record, because this record will forever be a classic, and it has really helped. Even before I became saved, this record right here rocked the house for a minute. So now, this is why we want to get into it, because this is not only a great album, this is not only an anointed album, this is an album that will forever be a classic out of all the music, not just gospel, but all the music. I know there are several secular artists who point to this record as one of the records they used to jam when they grew up. So we want to highlight this album today, and we want to talk about a couple of the great songs that are on this record. One of the songs on here, now let me backtrack. The title cut, of course, is one that gets everybody's attention. But the song directly after that, let's talk about that one. This is a song that has an extremely huge disco feel. It takes you all the way back to the disco clubs back in the day. I know I've heard people talk about Studio 54 and some of the other clubs that a lot of people frequented during the disco era. So this song here harkens back to that sound. And I guarantee you, Andre probably got into a lot of trouble with this record. This song is simply entitled, I Got the Best. And it has a wonderful message, and it's a message that witnesses to the non-believer. So we're going to get into that right now. I guarantee you, like I said, Andre got into some trouble. So let's check this one out. That was Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind & Fire. Y'all didn't know that one, huh? Yeah, Philip Bailey. One of the greatest falsettos ever. Let's go. Sound effects on here. If this ain't disco, yep, Andre Crouch, I Got the Best. Ooh-wee, that man was a daredevil. Wow. Wow. I got to talk about some of the musicians that were on this album. And when you read these credits, this is one thing I do. I read the credits. I try to see who all's involved. I try to see who is producing, who's playing, who's done whatever, because I just want to know who's making all this incredible sounds, who's doing all of this stuff. And so a few of the musicians, like I mentioned, Philip Bailey is on there singing background. There's a drummer by the name of Bill Maxwell who was Andre's producer for a long time. And a lot of people who don't know who Bill Maxwell is, if you see Bill Maxwell, it'll shock you because he's a white dude. But he's a tough drummer, and he's always been, and he's Andre Crouch's right hand man for a long time. So, and some other people that are on this album, you'd be surprised to know that Joe Sample was playing on this album. Stevie Wonder is on this record. He has some harmonica playing on here, and some other great musicians as well. We'll get into that later on. I'm gonna say this: Andre Crouch, like I said, is one of my favorite artists. He's one of those artists that bridge the gap between gospel and R&B. He actually won a Grammy for this album for the best contemporary soul gospel album. Yeah, and rightfully so. So as he should, as the kids say, as he should. So now, I want to play another song off of this record. Now, this song here is reminiscent of another great band that a lot of us know and love. My wife and I especially, a great band by the name of Steely Dan. So this next song I'm gonna play is reminiscent of that. It's called "I'll Be Looking For You." So is that the name of it? It's just called "Looking For You." I'm sorry, I apologize. But yeah, that's the name of it. And we're gonna get into that in a minute. But like I said, it's reminiscent of Steely Dan, and it's a nice little mellow song. And it's talking about searching for the Lord and finding out who he is. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into that. Get this volume back up. Donald Fagen and Walter Becker on here already, don't you?
Nobody could tell me
Steely Dan breakdown. Yep, Andre Crouch, Looking for You. Another one of his daredevil moves. Like I said, sound a whole lot like Steely Dan, but the message is on point. The message is on point because that's the way we should all be doing. We should be seeking God in everything that we do. Wow. Yep. Again, one of the greatest gospel artists ever. Kicked the door open for several artists like the Winans, Kirk Franklin, Tremaine Hawkins, the Hawkins family. Matter of fact, he brought the Hawkins family and the Winans over to the record label that he was with, Light Records. I heard a story one day about Andre Crouch. One day, I can't remember where he was, but he went somewhere and Mick Jagger ran up to him and just fell to his knees and was so happy to meet Andre Crouch. And it was just amazing to know that that man had that kind of influence. He bridged the gap, like I said, between gospel music and R&B, and between white contemporary Christian artists and black gospel artists. He's influenced both sides, and he's had his hands on several other songs too. Him and his choir was the background singers on Man in the Mirror, a song by Madonna called Like a Prayer, Earth Song by Michael Jackson. They did quite a few things with Michael Jackson, by the way, and it was only right that they would be singing at Michael Jackson's memorial homegoing, that they would be singing one of the greatest gospel songs of all time, Soon and Very Soon. It was only right. So now Andre had another song on this album that's pretty much a favorite by everybody, and I might have flipped the record over for this one, so give me a minute. But this song here, when Andre passed, it was amazing to see a lot of people in the church and out of the church playing this song. And the culmination of that was when I saw the Roots Band on the Tonight Show. They're the Tonight Show band. When the Roots Band, in between breaks, they started playing this next song. So I'm gonna flip the record over. We're gonna get into it. So. Notice how I'm flipping the record over. So anybody that's ever had vinyl, you have to do it like this. You can't have your hands all on the record and everything because you don't know how greasy and sweaty your hands are. So that's how you do that. All right. And let's see what we got going on here. that in your spirit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. One thing you notice about Andraé Crouch's music, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that that man was a believer. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that that man was a believer. He believed that Jesus is Lord. He believed in the existence of Jesus. He believed in the power of Jesus. He believed in the love of Jesus. He just believed. And it resonated through every lyric that he wrote. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to utilize the sounds that he utilized to express his belief. And that's what made him one of the greatest, if not the greatest, gospel artists to ever walk this planet. And to be able to utilize so many great musicians, those not just in gospel, but from the world of jazz and from the world of R&B, some even from the world of rock, and some other musicians. Another notable musician on there is one of the greatest guitarists in the land by the name of Larry Carlton. Larry Carlton was a beast. I'm sorry. Oh, is a beast. I'm sorry. That man was nice. And he was a part of the group Fourplay after an even greater guitarist by the name of Lee Ritenour left that group. So yeah, he took Lee Ritenour's place in Fourplay. And that's some big shoes to walk in. So that shows you how great Larry Carlton is. You know what I'm saying? Another great musician by the name of Abraham Laboriel, a very talented bass player. I put him up there with Victor Wooten and Andrew Goucher, Fred Hammond. Oh yeah, Fred Hammond's in that category right there. Oh yeah, and those guys will tell you that Fred Hammond is up there with them. Other ones, Marcus Miller. I'll put Abraham Laboriel up there with those guys. Again, like I said, Bill Maxwell, another tough drummer. He not only played with Andre, but he played with the Hawkins family as well. some other musicians. I do believe Kurt Carr played with Andre at one point. Now, I know he didn't play on this album, but later on he played for Andre. Host of other great musicians. But this album here also spawned some great singers. One singer by the name of Daniel Bell Hall. But another singer on this record, his name is Howard Smith. He's from Detroit, y'all. Howard Smith is a great singer in his own right, and he is featured on this next song that we about to play, entitled, I just lost my thought, but yeah, he is on this song entitled The Love Medley. So we're gonna get into that.
There's no jealousy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is where Howard Smith is, right here. Yep, that was the Love Medley from that great album, I'll Be Thinking of You, featuring Howard Smith, Detroit's own. Yes, absolutely love this album. And I'm so honored to be able to share this album with you all and to get into it. So I really hope that you enjoyed this today. I enjoyed doing this. And this is something that I just enjoy, and I just want to share this with you all. This is something that I've always been into. Like I said, since I was 5 years old, I love music, and I love great music. And I'm always looking for great music. And as I find great music, I want to be able to share most of it with you all. Now, let me give you all a warning. I started off with a gospel album. I'm sure I'm going to do a few more gospel albums, but I'm definitely going to cross genres. So don't be surprised if you look up on here one day and we talking about Stevie Wonder or the Isley Brothers, or we paying tribute to somebody. We might do that too if somebody passes and we got music to deal with them on. We definitely will be paying tribute to those who we have lost along the way. So you all stay tuned. Facebook, thank you for joining me today. I had fun. I want to thank my wife, who's behind the camera, and for doing all the angles. And again, I want to thank you all for joining me. See you next time. Bye.